Hey seniors! So those of you who were able to watch my video from the week before spring break, I uploaded it on April 1st, should have looked through their closets to look for 10 items of clothing. I said you could also use shoes if you needed to figure out where those things were made, because we're starting a unit this week on international trade. So I went through my closet and I just looked through my dresses at first to see where things were made. So, and then I kind of went down the line in my closet, and here is where my things in my closet were made. So we've got one thing from India, something from Nicaragua, which is over here, Guatemala, China, the Philippines, which is here, Kenya, Indonesia, which is this archipelago here, and Vietnam. I did have one item of clothing in my closet that was made in the United States, which I was surprised about. But as I kept looking, the majority of the clothes that I looked at were made in Vietnam, which is right here. So if you exclude the United States, because really that is not typical, and I looked through a lot of my clothes and only found one item that was made there. What I noticed about where the majority of my clothes are made are that they're made in Asia, with other sporadic places throughout the world. But everything I know about these countries tells me that these are developing countries. They are not countries that have strong economies. If we were to look at the gross national product or the gross domestic product per capita of each of these countries, like we did when we were looking at global health, these countries would be relatively poor compared to the United States. So our question then, and this is something that we're going to address throughout this unit on trade, is why do Americans buy things that were made in other countries? How is it that some of the clothing that I have, and I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, so these aren't super expensive pieces, how is it that it is cheaper, or is it apparently cheap enough for companies to manufacture clothing and other items in places throughout Asia, ship them all the way across the ocean to the United States, and then still sell them for like less than $30 an item? That just, it feels like there's got to be a pretty significant explanation for that. So that's what we're going to be looking at this week and for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you were also able to look through your closets. And I'd like to know how many of you have clothes that were made in India or China or Vietnam, because that's where apparently most of my clothes are from. So I look forward to reading your responses to the first week's quiz. If you have any questions about what to do, don't forget to let me know. See ya.